What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another all-new edition of Renegades Reviews, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today is a very special double feature day here on Renegades Reviews. At the top of the hour, I spoke about the 1988 chick flick Beaches, and today I'm going to be covering not just that, which I already did, but I'm also going to be covering from 2017 the remake Beaches, which starred Idina Menzel in the Bette Midler role of C.C. Bloom and Nia Long in the Barbara Hershey role of Hillary. What's up, everybody? I hope you enjoyed today's double feature day here on the show. If you didn't tune in for the last episode, I'm going to go ahead and go through the synopsis one more time here. Beaches is one of the quintessential chick flicks. It's the story of Cece and Hillary, two lifelong friends who meet in Venice Beach one day. Cece is a street performer, and Hillary is on vacation with her family. She stumbles upon young Cece singing The Glory of Love and performing all kinds of other songs. And Hillary is just mesmerized by the charisma and the voice of Cece. They become lifelong friends. They just very, very quickly, it's one of those instances where you just meet someone, instantly you click. They're taking photos together at the photo booth on the boardwalk until Hillary's nanny catches up with her, takes her home. In this take, since it's a more modern version, they communicate via phone, whereas in the original, they sent snail mail, letters to each other. They keep tabs with each other via text messages and whatnot in this one. Hillary is a lawyer practicing at her father's firm. Cece is a struggling musician. She's doing singing telegrams. Hillary, even though she's successful, her heart's not in her job. So she leaves her life one day, shows up where Cece is singing. The two reconnect. Hillary moves in with Cece. They bond. They have all kinds of moments with each other. Cece meets John one day, John Pierce, and he's a talent scout at a theater. Instantly recognizes the talent in Cece, throws her in the shows. But while Cece is falling for John, John has eyes for Hillary. First strains of their friendship right there. John being in love with Hillary, but not as much with Cece. On the night of Cece's first big production, Hillary and John sleep together afterwards to celebrate. Causes a love triangle, and this is where the first resentment really starts to take place, the first rift in their friendship. It was bad enough that they kind of liked each other, but once Hillary sleeps with him, Cece is kind of, good for the moment, if you will. Hillary's dad gets sick, so she moves back home to take care of him. Ends up meeting Brian instead of Michael in the original. Hillary ends up marrying Brian. There we go. And Cece ends up getting together with John. Both women get married. Neither woman is at the other one's wedding. Eventually, Cece has her big break on Broadway. Hillary and Brian show up to support her and see the show. Hillary tells Cece that, she stopped practicing law. Cece accuses her of giving up on her dreams. Hillary accuses Cece of having an ego and being too career focused. The best friends go their separate ways. They realize that they've kind of grown apart. This is the first real fight. We're talking like nastiness between the two of them. Hillary begins ignoring Cece's messages. And both their lives begin to fall apart. John files for divorce from Cece. Brian is cheating on Hillary. However, Hillary is pregnant. Hillary finds out that Cece is going to be in her hometown, goes to pay her friend a visit, and it definitely starts off rather shaky until Hillary tells Cece about the pregnancy, about the fact that Brian cheated on her. Both of them admit that they were jealous of each other. And Cece vows to be there for Hillary through the pregnancy and help raising the child, because Hillary is devoted to doing it as a single mom, dedicated, but Cece wants to be there for her friend. However, around this time, Cece is offered a huge comeback gig. She's got a shot role on a TV show, like a soap opera. So she goes to do that, leaving Hillary behind. Vows she'll be there for the birth of the baby. Hillary names the child Victoria Cecilia, Cecilia being one of the C's in Cece. So it's a tribute to her friend. And while Victoria is young, Hillary develops viral cardiomyopathy and is going to require a heart transplant. But Hillary's got a rare blood type, a tissue type, so the odds of getting a donor in time are slim to none. Cece gets this information. And the three of them, Cece, Hillary, and Victoria, go off to the beach house for the summer. During their stay at the beach house, Cece starts really bonding with Victoria, resulting in some depression for Hillary. As her condition gets worse and worse, there's a little bit of resentment from Hillary towards Cece, because Cece is doing all the things with, Victoria that Hillary wished that she could do. Ends up taking her frustration out on Cece. At the end of the summer, the two split. Hillary and Victoria go home. Cece goes home, gets ready for a huge concert. Finds out that Hillary has collapsed. They go out to the beach house one last time, where she dies peacefully. They show Cece doing her concert, singing the same song, Glory of Love. and bonding with Victoria as they walk off to start their life together. She basically takes custody of the child after her mom's passing. I personally prefer this version more. I think it's because, number one, this is shorter. There's about a half hour of content that's cut out of this version as opposed to the original. So where the original drags in some areas, I feel this one, the pacing is nice and perfect. I also just prefer Idina Menzel to Bette Midler, probably because of my love of Disney and Idina Menzel, of course, being the voice of Queen Elsa from Frozen. That's where I discovered Idina Menzel. That's where I first saw her for the first time, really. Yeah, she had a role in Enchanted, but that's not what you think about when you think of Enchanted. You don't think about Idina Menzel. You think of Amy Adams. So I didn't really, truly discover who Idina was until Frozen. And I've been a fan of hers ever since. So I'm sure that's a big part of why I prefer this one. Nia Long. Love Nia Long. I've adored her for quite a number of years. Remember her as Will's girlfriend on The Fresh Prince. Then, of course, her number of movie roles. So I think I just identify with the two leads a lot more in this one. Like, I know them better. I just admire them more. I like their stuff more than I do Bette and Barbara. No knocking them. This is one of the few remakes that I feel actually surpasses the original. I'm giving the remake 4 stars out of 5, whereas the original only got 3.5. And if you paid attention during the last episode, my main gripe was that I felt a drug in places. This version I feel does not. So 4 stars out of 5 for me. There's also a few differences in this one. In the original, they meet in Atlantic City. In the remake, they meet on Venice Beach. In the original, Hillary goes to Stanford Law. On the remake, she goes to Harvard. The name of Hillary's love interest in the original, it's Michael. In this version, it's Brian. And the Hollywood Bowl concert that Cece is getting ready for happens in the middle of the remake, as opposed to being shown in the very beginning and then again mid-scene. So there are just a few differences here in the remake that I wanted to touch on. Let's not forget to get those hashtags trending on social media. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Don't forget to do what the commercial told you. Get out there. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network get you the official merchandise of the Casa D18 Brethren, your very own Statboy approved shirt, Statboy Sports Bar, the Renegade J.J. Williams. I've got my own shirt up there in multiple colors. The Dad's Not Always on Wrestling shirt, the Mecha Mania shirt, Talk Wrestling, and of course the official t-shirt for the Jeff Meacham Network. Get out there, buy those shirts, support us and the rest of the Casa D18 Brethren. Tomorrow, here on Renegades Reviews, I'm going to be talking about another chick flick, The Last Psalm, starring Miley Cyrus, Liam Hemsworth, and Greg Kinnear. I have never seen this film before. I know it was made towards the end or just after the Hannah Montana days for Miley, so she hadn't become as controversial of a name as she is these days. Liam Hemsworth, of course, the brother of Thor actor Chris Hemsworth. So it'll be interesting to see him in there. I don't think I've seen too much of Liam's work. I've seen quite a few movies with Chris outside of the Thors. I know I saw his Men in Black offering, which wasn't as bad as people made it, but, you know, it's not Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones either. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for that right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right here on Renegades Reviews. I am the Renegade J.J. Williams. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.